please.
From Liverpool Lime Street and Manchester Piccadilly...
Saturday night, Piccadilly.
to the smallest stations, the railway is a lifeline for the north of England.
Customer satisfaction, that's our destination.
But the system is under pressure as never before.
We've got a Leeds service cancelled, the Liverpool service cancelled, and the Piccadilly service cancelled.
And staff are in the firing line.
Move a bit more down for me, please, so I can get everyone on.
Let you guys get on!
What's the worst thing that can happen? The punches. It's happened before, it'll happen again.
I sack everyone from top to bottom. It's a complete waste of time.
Now, cameras have been allowed behind the scenes. At the company that runs some of the busiest and most crowded trains in Britain, Transpennine Express.
Dad, just stay there for me.
Keep your head stuck.
It's not responsive.
Filmed during a make-or-break year,
We are expanding our fleet by over 60%. For Transpennine, this is the biggest thing we've ever done.
It's gonna go right. It's got to. Has to.
this is the inside story of what it really takes to run a railway.
Just with the weather, nothing at all is moving on Piccadilly.
I can confirm the 2 children are on the tracks at the minute.
And get the north back on track.
We'll deliver for the north.
This time,
I'm sick of it.
staff face a winter of discontent as passengers revolt.
New timetable, crap service.
And the service goes from bad to worse when a derailed train threatens the whole network. It's early December. The beginning of the busiest time of the year on the railway.
We are sorry that the 0717 service to Newcastle has been cancelled.
But the network is already facing record numbers of delays and cancellations.
It's not good, it's been cancelled.
I hate travelling on trains, full stop. But particularly Transpennine at the moment. They've been absolutely awful in the last few weeks.
Passenger complaints are up 40%, and station staff like Billy Vickers are bearing the brunt.
Do you want to stand back a little bit, folks, while this comes in?
Billy's been working at Manchester Piccadilly, the hub station of the north of England, for over 40 years.
I would say that the current position we're in is most probably the worst I've ever seen while I've been on the railway.
Dreadful, always delayed, always late.
I'm paying one of the highest train fares in Europe, and we are treated like cattle. Come on, guys.
This month alone, Billy and his colleagues have had to cope with 60% of services running late or being cancelled.
We've never seen such a wealth of delays, so much disruption, all caused by trying to make things better. So we'll be trying to put new trains in, trying to put more services in, but using some of the existing numbers of staff that we've got. So it's really, really challenging. You see people who are weary with all the strain. Hopefully that's not having an impact on me, because I was wrinkled before the new trains.
36 miles up the tracks in Leeds, Mackenzie Kennedy has to deal with the railway's other big problem, overcrowding. 7 million more passengers are travelling on Transpennine's network than 10 years ago.
Let's squeeze through there, please, folks. Thanks very much.
And sometimes, for Mackenzie, it can feel like he's trying to get them all on just one train.
And stop.
It's my job to just keep these people on the move, get them to where they're going as quickly but as safely as possible. Folks, I know it's busy, but if you can move a bit more down for me, please, so I can get everyone on. Folks, use all the aisleway for me, please. I know it's busy, but I need you all to move in, please. Guys, can you just move forward a little bit? Jesus Christ. I mean, you can see everyone coming over the footbridge now. It's like a conveyor belt. We'll empty the platform, and then within a couple of minutes, it will be full again. Another day, another dollar, eh? I've had various jobs. I spent 9 years in the armed forces. I was an infantry soldier with the army. I'm a problem solver. I like being there to be part of the solution. I like helping people. There you go, my love. You go in Huddersfield, yeah? It's just a shame that the jobs become standing here shouting at people, whereas when I first started, it was standing here and helping people.
Mackenzie's job isn't made any easier by the lack of space on the current fleet of 3-carriage trains.
This is when it starts getting a bit chaotic. You don't want to leave anyone behind, but it gets to the point where you have to. Keep your arm in place!
Mackenzie is under pressure to make sure every train leaves on time. But if he can't fit passengers over the threshold marked by the yellow line, the platform dispatcher won't clear the train for departure, and it will hold up not just this train, but every train behind it along the whole line.
Listen, gents, you can't get on. That's it, we're going. Can you move rest away from the train, please?
Stand back for me, please. You just stand back, please. If you can't get over that line. The dispatch is saying no. I'm sorry, the dispatch has already said no, so I can't let you on, sorry.
Mackenzie gets the train away on time, but his passenger faces an anxious wait to see if she can make it onto the next airport service.
If you stay around me, right, when the next one comes on, I'll make sure you get on, all right? It's just when the dispatcher says no, I can't let anyone else on, you see. What time are you flying out today?
8:30.
I'll put myself in front of a door and I'll make sure you get on. I get people crying, I get people shouting at me, but when it comes down to safety, we have to be very strict. If it's too busy to get on, we can't let you on the train. It's common practice now. It's every day.
He can't guarantee her a seat.
Jump on that door there, I'd say. Because all they're going to do is cram into that area there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries.
But true to his word, Mackenzie ensures his airport passenger makes her flight on time. Bigger, better new trains are on order, but until they arrive, drivers like Andy Bolton must make do with 15-year-old locos that have clocked up over 2 million miles crossing the Pennines.
They're a good all-round unit, these. Do get faults, yeah, but usually you can just isolate an engine or lock a set of doors off and away you go. It's very, very rare this will cross its legs and sit down and won't go.
Andy's destination today is Piccadilly Station in central Manchester.
Choose this gate as well.
Where barrier supervisor Sarah Ulmer is inundated with Christmas revellers and rival football fans.
It's going to be busy today. We've got a derby on, we've got a concert on down at Manchester Victoria. I prefer it when it's busy, yeah, because time goes quicker, doesn't it? And it's good.
Come on the loose, even though we're shit.
Yes, lads!
I like working on the railway. You get a lot of people who are happy, they're on hen parties, they're going on holiday. You see a lot of different things throughout the day.
Oh my God, you liked it!
I'd rather it be like this, though, than delays and cancellations.
And just a reminder, the train on platform 3 is delayed. 1547 Transpennine service to Hull. The service has been delayed due to a door fault on this train.
Driver Andy has arrived at Piccadilly to pick up passengers for his return trip to Hull. But his departure is being held up by a mechanical fault.
So what's wrong with the doors? So what's broke? Every time you try and close the doors, the circuit breaker's tripping out, losing power, then you can't get the brakes off.
Yeah, the train on platform 3, it appears to have some sort of fault with it. So we'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of people on it. Fingers crossed.
Andy's radioed for help.
Lock that door out of use to see how you get on.
The door fault will have been logged in the network control centre, which operates a traffic light system to manage delays in order of priority. It's Duty Control Manager Gary Pownell who has to manage any impact on services.
We need to try and mitigate any late running so that
everything and get into a position where we can then lift it and moving it back onto the track.
The derailment is hitting hardest at the hub station Piccadilly, where this morning's dispatcher, Anthony Lewis, has been left with a logjam of disgruntled commuters to deal with.
The knock-on effect is, obviously, our first services, say, to Huddersfield, obviously we had no unit for that, stuck at the depot, cancelled. 6:15 Cleethorpes, same, cancelled. So what Control do is they activate what's called CSL2, and all ticket restrictions are lifted.
Anthony's taken advantage of this rolling agreement with other rail operators to help get his commuters to work.
When passengers are allowed to use any service, we don't have passengers stranded, so we can get them moving as quick as possible and get them on the way. And it seems to work, sometimes.
As yet, the disruption caused by the derailment hasn't reached the end of the line in Scarborough, where conductor Nicky May has been trying to keep long-suffering travellers entertained for 7 years.
Well, there we go, folks. Happy days. Choo-choo, full steam ahead on this steep service to Liverpool Lime Street today. Calm down, Liverpool. Here we come. Spiritual home of the Shell suit. Folks, good morning, welcome. Your next station calling point will be Seamer, and that will be in a blink of an eye.
Nicky can cover up to 40,000 miles a year during her shifts.
I love this job. I travel all over the country. They pay me to talk. Come on. How to do? Welcome aboard, everyone. Hey, Leeds, delicious, delicious indeed. Imagine just walking through a train saying tickets, tickets, tickets. What you give out, you get back using cash. My gosh, we don't get to see that very often. That's amazing. Thank you. No, I'll take it, lovely. Honey, if you were donating a kidney, we'd take it here at Transpennine.
Nicky can have more than 200 passengers relying on her and the driver on every journey, and she hates letting them down.
It's quite an achievement to get people where they want to be. We don't always do it, but we do in the end, but not in the time frame sometimes that people want. In my head, I think, right, I'm going to do the best that I can do today with the tools that you give me. And some days I pray that the tools are just better, because people have missed funerals, they've missed, they've lost their jobs, they've had money docked from their wages. There we go, amazing. What keeps me going is we're going to do better every day. I think to myself, we'll do better than we've done the day before. Welcome. Magnificent, thank you very much, thank you.
It's now 1 p.m. Services from Greater Manchester have been crippled by the depot derailment for almost 8 hours.
I'll be honest, I'm nervous about everything.
And Fleet Delivery Manager Simon is facing mounting pressure to get the stricken carriage and services back on track.
Having split the train, the next job for us is to use a couple of hydraulic jacks to lift the train so that we get the wheels above the height of the rails. This probably isn't the most nerve-wracking bit, because this is the bit where we don't know what's going to happen once those jacks lift the bogie up. We don't know what's going to move. These things can suddenly spring back into the position they want to be in.
You need to come back. Yeah.
One wrong move and the jacks could slip, trapping one of Simon's team under the 38-ton carriage.
Oh, stop. All good? Right, that'd be good as is. To come up again, but really slow.
Once we've secured the train, the next job for us is to put a beam across the rails and some small rollers on top of that, and then using another hydraulic ram, we'll literally inch the train over by sort of 6 inches at a time, and then we'll do another 6 inches to move the ram another 6 inches. So it's a very slow process, but it's controlled and careful.
It's painstaking work moving a vehicle of this size, even when using a hydraulic ram that's pushing with a force of 10,000 pounds per square inch. With 5 units still trapped in the depot, every minute it takes the train to shift back towards the rails is another delay or cancellation for passengers all over the north of England.
Hopefully we expect that to be up and running before the end of today, so that tonight's rush hour we should still get trains out into service and get the trains back again at night.
With derailments, overcrowding and delays to the new trains project, Interim Managing Director Liz Collins has already got a lot on her plate at head office in Manchester. But on top of all that, today she's making battle plans with a war cabinet of senior management for the most difficult date in the railway calendar, Timetable Change Day.
OK, chaps, so we've got the timetable's going to change in a week's time on the 15th of December. We might as well be honest, it's not going to be pleasant. We've got to do our best, we've got to be honest, and we've got to be upfront about it.
Timetable changes rarely go without a hitch, but combined with the delayed launch of their new fleet of trains, it could be a recipe for disaster. It's Customer Experience Director Catherine O'Brien's job to keep passengers happy through what promises to be a perfect storm of disruption.
No one in their right mind would choose to do this, but as a result of the delays in the manufacturing process, some of these trains are almost 2 years late, and we find ourselves in a place where we're introducing 3 new fleets of trains all at the same time, all needing driver and conductor training. So we're introducing a temporary timetable that has taken some trains out of the daily plan to get some drivers trained and ready. So that's where we're at the minute.
Temporarily scrapping hundreds of services on an already overcrowded network is a gamble. It will be up to Catherine to convince passengers to keep the faith until full service resumes with a new fleet of modern trains.
It's hugely complex, lots to go wrong, but this is the game changer that is going to make customers' lives so much better.
Better late than never, the final new train has reached these shores. And the man running the project, Robin Davis, is taking personal delivery of his new baby at Royal Portbury Docks in the southwest of England.
Another one for the album. To see the last one fills you a lot of pride, it's amazing. Fingers crossed they don't drop it off the trailer.
Foot off the brake, please. Nice and steady, nice and steady.
The project has overrun by almost 2 years, putting a strain on an already creaking network. But Robin is banking on his £500 million investment in the most modern fleet in Britain, turning the struggling rail operators' fortunes around.
For Transpennine, this is the biggest thing we've ever done. These trains will enable us to carry more people.
Robin's trains will provide more than 5,500 extra seats for passengers at a cost of almost £90,000 per chair. But first, he has to get them up north.
And stop.
The logistics team in the UK is coupling the trains together to form up into a unit, and then there'll be another locomotives and some vehicles to help haul those trains up to Manchester. And we want to get it in service as soon as possible, along with the rest of these fantastic new trains.
It's 4 p.m. Thousands of commuters are beginning to gather at Piccadilly for the evening rush.
We are sorry that the Manchester Piccadilly is delayed by approximately 9 minutes. This is due to a problem currently under investigation.
But the trains that should be escorting them home are still trapped in the Ardwick depot.
Stop! Reset.
Simon's team of engineers have been trying to clear the train all day.
How long have we been going now? 10 hours. We've now, in reality, missed the evening rush hour, so trains that are required for the rush hour traffic aren't going to be going into service.
Coming down, Mike's hopefully kick it over a bit. It's coming down now, gents.
This is the very last bit, probably got about 2 inches to go.
Out on the pusher, Smidge. Out on the pusher. Right, out on the pusher. Out on the pusher. Stop! Stop in!
Told you could do it. That's it then, job done. If you'd have been here earlier, Steve, that would have only taken half the time. Now we've got it on the rails, we'll move it into the sidings. The depot at least will be clear then to get tonight's arrivals on, so that tomorrow's service won't be affected. It works safely as well, which is always a top priority for us.
All 5 stranded Transpennine trains will return to service in the morning. But with a tricky transfer to a new timetable just days away, station staff will be bracing themselves for more angry passengers. Coming up.
It's ridiculous. I pay £1,000 a year, and what do I get? Delayed trains every day, and I'm sick of it.
It's Monday morning.
Morning, all right?
Catherine O'Brien is at Victoria Station in Manchester to oversee the biggest day in the railway calendar.
Start of our new timetable today, a major milestone. We've been planning this for a very long time. See how we get on.
Hundreds of thousands of commuters are descending on stations across the north of England. And at Piccadilly, Billy Vickers knows previous timetable meltdowns are still fresh in the memory.
2 years ago we had a real challenging timetable change. We hope today's not like that.
We are sorry that the 0717 service to Newcastle has been cancelled.
New timetable, crap service.
I think he was talking to you.
The imminent launch of a new fleet of trains has led to shortages of drivers and crew. And back at Victoria, passengers are arriving to discover their regular trains aren't running. Catherine knows she has some explaining to do.
We've got our planned cancellations in the system to just make space for getting some train crew trained, and that can only impact customers that are trying to get to work. So some customers might want to talk to me about how they're feeling this morning, and hence why I'm here. So we'll see how we get on shortly.
So in both directions now, there's no train to Liverpool?
No. There's
just one an hour?
A number of trains.
So when you cancel a train, and I'm really trying not to swear at you, that means it's going to take. I'm going to be stuck in this station for 2 hours.
So we've got ticket
I do try to get to work.
No, I know. I'm really sorry.
Billy Vickers' Piccadilly passengers haven't universally welcomed the slashing of scheduled services either.
A couple of cancellations this morning, so we lost a couple of Newcastle services. So that's really challenging for the customers who want to get up to the northeast. Just when people are really against the clock and want to get somewhere on time, that we let them down, they tend to kick off a little bit then.
It's ridiculous. I pay £1,000 a year, and what do I get? Delayed trains every day, and I'm sick of it. But it's got even worse this morning.
It's not acceptable, and
It's not acceptable.
No one would say it is, would they?
Anyway, right, I need to go and get my train.
Platform 14.
Yeah, thank you.
The industry needs to get itself sorted. The lady's obviously at breaking point, they're travelling. That could make her ill, couldn't it? It's not acceptable, I mean.
As the new timetable threatens to unravel across the entire network,
I'm not the alone.
at a siding in York, conductor Nikki May and other train crew that have been pulled from service are getting to grips with the new rolling stock. Nikki is just one of 700 members of staff that need to be trained on the new fleet.
Today it's all about learning about our new train, so one of our Nova ones, which is the 802.
So what we're going to do now, there's another button on this unit somewhere that you could utilise to open the nose cone. So if you want to do that.
Driver Paul Jenkinson is up front in the cab, facing an array of high-tech controls.
It's a bunch of computers on wheels, is this thing. They're brilliant. It's a step up. The cleaner, the quieter, and on electric, they go like clappers.
With a top speed of 140 miles an hour and 161 more seats on board, Paul and Nikki should be able to get more commuters to work on time and in more comfort.
2 plugs per seat, or set of seats with a USB socket, so they don't have to worry about fighting for adapters and chargers anymore. And every single seat has at least 1 coat hanger as well. And if you pull it down, you'll realise soft clothes.
Oh, I tell you, it's all
Beautiful.
about the little things. All about the little. Oh,
And the
new
smell.
trains! Can't wait for people to get on, and me have that bit of pride actually that passengers are boarding a state-of-the-art train. A map of a toilet.
Listen to this.
Please lock the door. The door is now locked.
But until all conductors and drivers complete the training, the timetable troubles across the north look set to continue.
Unfortunately, to get there, we've got to go through this perfect storm of everybody training whilst also running services, and then a new timetable thrown into the mix. So at the moment, it's not great for our passengers, and all we can do is apologise. But in the long run, they're going to be riding around on better trains and they're going to be more reliable. So, you know, progress is good, but it sometimes takes a little bit of time to get there.
Back at Manchester Victoria, it seems Catherine's new timetable is the last straw for some commuters.
Thank you.
Hi, nice to meet you. I do this on a daily basis. Today's an exception because obviously we've had the change timetable, but this is a regular occurrence. I have a child and I get into palpitations thinking, will I make it home? Some days I don't get home until at least 45 minutes after childcare is finished. And you have to face that person saying, I'm not neglecting my child.
Can I buy you coffee? Can you
So sorry, but I think when you have kids, as a singleton, it's different. I'd be here at 7, but I can't give up my child.
I'm sorry that we've let you down so badly. Let me go buy some tissues and I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Yeah? Let's do that.
More people like her need to see more people like me, the average person who's just trying to get to work, who's got family responsibilities, and I get it that, these are trains, we're on a platform, there will be delays, there will be breakdowns, but when it's so regularly occurring, I've run out of excuses at work now. I don't know what to say. It's just so irritating. So irritating.
This has been quite difficult for customers over recent weeks and months, and they're fed up. That was a good example of how we're impacting on their lives, and my job is to front some of this stuff, and saying sorry. We are genuinely sorry.
Catherine will be hoping that when the new trains come online and full service resumes, she'll have a lot less apologising to do.
I'm really, really sorry.
It's midday at Liverpool Lime Street. Instead of the usual lunchtime crowds, the station has been cleared for a very special VIP event.
Platform now, and ropes going across now.
After 2 years in the making and months of delays, Transpennine's new fleet of trains is finally getting its official launch. And there's an awful lot riding on it, as train enthusiasts, the media and investors are getting their first look at all 3 models in the fleet. Greg Mara is responsible for ensuring today's event runs like clockwork. But there's a hitch.
Nova 3 is running 8 minutes late, and we've got 15 minutes to get it all done. So
how are you feeling?
Stressed, very stressed, but nature of the job. It's a railway, you know. We can't have everything perfect, although we like to do.
At the controls of the new state-of-the-art yet delayed 1232 from Manchester Victoria is Adam Smith.
Well, this is the first one of Transpennine's Nova 3 trains. It's actually dry, they're brilliant, they're really nice. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the passengers think of it as well.
Adam's been a driver for 16 years, but this is the biggest day of his career.
I suppose it's a bit of an honour, really, to have been selected to drive the first passenger train in service. I've got two little boys at home. They were very excited that their daddy was going to be driving a new train, so yeah, all round I'm really pleased that I've been given this opportunity. Hopefully, we'll make it in time for the show.
Greg is forced to improvise while he waits on Adam's delayed Nova 3, keeping dignitaries occupied with other models in the fleet as he juggles his running order.
Stakeholders have already started going on this train. Okay. Can you ask Catherine to make an announcement at just after 20 past? Yeah. Speech is going to be at 25 past now.
Please locate it.
Yeah. At the minute, we're about 5–10 minutes behind. Nova 1 and Nova 2 in. Nova 3, that's the money shot. As soon as it comes in, photographers need to be in position. I think they're going upstairs on the roof there and also on the platform. So tight timings. As soon as they have that image, then we can relax, because then the trains will be going out and everyone's happy.
Finally, Adam and his Nova 3 make their entrance, fashionably late.
Have I had so many cameras pointed at me?
Now everyone's here so we can get the right shot of all three trains lined up. We've never had all three trains in the same place at the same time, so for this to happen, it's a massive thing for the company.
Greg can breathe a sigh of relief.
Speeches are happening, all the song and dance is happening, so my job's done, I think, now. I can relax and have a brew.
As they gradually come into service, staff and passengers are starting to feel the benefit of the new high-tech trains.
My train's on time every day. My train now that I'm about to get on is here half an hour early.
When the trains are up and running, it's an excellent service. Like it's clean, reliable, efficient, staff are brilliant.
The more reliable trains have helped the new timetable bed in. But Billy Vickers knows they're not out of the woods yet. He's on the charm offensive at Manchester Airport, hoping to convince passengers to keep the faith until the rollout of all 44 new trains is complete.
February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Nothing says I love you more than a rose. I can't believe you don't buy her flowers. How can you do that? How long have you been married?
54 years.
Yeah, I get right, you don't buy flowers then, yeah, I get that. The last couple of months have been really challenging. Due to the late delivery of the trains, it's put a tremendous strain on the customers. We're just getting out of that now. Since the timetable change of December, it's started to get a lot better. We've got more new trains in traffic, more train crew trained up to work the new trains, and fingers crossed by March this year, they should all be in traffic. So the next month, it'll all settle down. These have only been in traffic a couple of weeks. Really good, yeah. A lot more space. You've got long legs, you see, so you need the space. Exactly. I don't. See you now.
"30 minutes up the line at Manchester Victoria, the extra space on board is reducing overcrowding, making life a whole lot easier for Mackenzie.
This is a massive change. Normally these would be full on standing at this point. They'd be absolutely heaving. The platform would be busy. I'm not used to seeing an airport service as quiet as this. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of an embarrassment wearing the uniform when all the trouble was happening. And as you can see already, the station is not half as busy as we're used to. So we'll see if it carries on.
Out in the Yorkshire countryside, conductor Nicky also has a feeling things are gradually starting to get back on track.
Yoo-hoo! Tickets today, lovelies. We've tried to evolve from being a one-class train into a three-class train, and we've tried to do it really, in railway terms, seconds. For passengers, they've endured. I don't know how they're still travelling with us. I thank goodness that they are still travelling with us because they keep me in a job. Welcome everyone, how are you? I can't apologise enough, it's just been hell. But I can see light at the end of the tunnel. We're early.
Next time, it's the weekend from hell on the North's 24/7 railway.
Fucking caught it. Fucking hell.
And Storm Kira paralyses the network.
Nothing at all is moving at the moment, no.
We've got about 44 people stuck on a train, so yeah, it's not looking too great at the moment.
And that's next Wednesday at 9 as the new series The Railway 24/7 continues. And the Transpennine Express is not the only train line with issues. Overrunning track work means the threat of chaos in Paddington. A Year on the Tracks, new tomorrow at 8. Next tonight, A&E After Dark Uncut, with the night shift pushing our NHS heroes to the limit.